So hello everyone, Hardwareflipper here. What's going on? Over the weekend, we've pretty much got some decent amount of sales. If I count correctly, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hardwares leaving the warehouse this week. Today is Sunday. I'm recording this video because the notifications are already on my phone. What does that tell me? That tells me that already the week is taking shape. Monday is going to be beautiful. We're going to be rocking all these hardware. We're going to be packing them. We're going to be cleaning them. We're going to be setting them up in the best way that the customer or the buyer will receive them, and he or she will have no option but to just go ahead and give us a positive review. But let's talk about that. You see, sending your eBay items out is a thing. It's something you have to do. A lot of people just think that selling on eBay is all about buying the stuff. And if you look at a lot of the YouTube videos, you kind of see that a lot of people tend to put a lot of emphasis on just buying the stuffs, buying the right stuff, going to the thrift store early, learning to search, source, learning to pick stuff. But there's also a back end, and then one thing that is also well portrayed on YouTube is that yes, you have to list your items, you have to list your dead pies, make sure that you are not buying stuff and just coming to put them on the side. Yes, but there is an aspect of eBay that's receiving little or no attention, which is packing and physically shipping this item, because at the end of the day, it's a lot of work. Sometimes we see a lot of videos where people just put on the camera and they read through their figures and they pick things from the shelves. This is beautiful. I tend to like this kind of videos. But the thing is, there's also the part of eBay that is physically packing this item, which is putting the item on your table, bringing your packing paper, physically wrapping them up, especially when you sell bulky items like myself. These are not clothing that you could just put in a poly mailer or a poly bag and ship off. These are items that you physically have to protect. These are items that you sometimes need to get really solid bubble wraps to make sure that you are preparing these items. And then these are not also items that you can just stuff in a carton and then put some old newspapers and old bubble wraps and just send off. You have to also pay attention to presentation, which is also very key, which is how do you send out these items? When a customer receives the item, what's the first impression? Does the customer have an impression of a shabby seller, or does the customer have an impression of somebody sending an item in a very, very good condition? You see, this is an aspect of reselling on eBay that needs to get more attention. There's a lot of work behind the scene that goes into shipping an item from point A to point B. You see, when you sell bulky items, then you have to do double the work than somebody that sells T-shirts, for example, or books. You see, this is not to diss some people that sell books. In fact, I like books. I like selling clothes. Just that I've not been able to find the right source where I can continue to get unlimited books or clothes. That being said, when you sell electronics items or a little bit bulky items, kitchen utensils, breakable items, wall clocks, stuff like this, a lot of effort that goes into packing that thing. And sometimes you need the right skill, because when I started selling on eBay many, many years ago, I broke a lot of stuffs. But to be honest, in the last year, I really had very, very few incidents of items delivered in a broken condition, because over the years, I pretty much have perfected my shipping skills, pretty much I've learned my lessons, because sometimes previously when I had to send a PC, I just take this PC and put it in a shallow box and then look for some old cartons in the warehouse and just send them off. But then sometimes I had to pay dearly for it, because sometimes a PC could sell for as much as $400. And when you have something like this, it makes a lot of sense for you to pay close attention to shipping your items. And this is exactly why I'm making this video, because I just realized that yes, a lot of people don't talk about the back end of their shipping processes. They don't show the work that's involved. And sometimes if you are a young seller, you must have learned a lot of these stuffs, how to do research, how to make sure you are listing properly, how to make sure you are listing all the time, to make sure your eBay is always having an activity. But the thing you also have to learn before you make that costly mistake is you have to pay attention also to your shipping process. When you have to ship bulky items, or when you have to ship items that can be broken during transit, pay good attention to protecting the items properly. Make sure you are using the right packaging. Make sure you are not in a hurry to send these stuffs. Take your time, put the items, bubble wrap it. If it's an item that needs to be bubble wrapped, if it's an item that needs to be stuffed inside some glass with some old newspapers, make sure you do it right, and make sure you place the item in a very decent manner in the box, because presentation also matters. It also influences the way people perceive you as a business. You see, if a customer receives your item, everything looking very clean, everything looking super cute, the customer would not have a problem in going to your eBay page to leave you a very good review, and this helps a lot as an eBay seller. But if you have said, you know what, for me, my priority is just to buy this stuff, list them on the platform, and then sell it. Now that it has sold, now the money is coming. I'm happy. I'm excited about that. Perhaps you go and make YouTube videos and then forget to pay a lot of attention to the part that also influences a buyer, which is the shipping. This is not a good thing, and it's not the best. If it's something that you have been doing, see how you can do things differently this year. Get decent packaging. Get decent packaging. Get decent packaging and just include this in your cost, your business cost. A long time ago, I used to recycle cartons. If I bought some stuff, maybe some stuff from the building material shop where the item is delivered in a carton, I try to want to use it again, and sometimes I have to first put a sellotape around it to stabilize the carton before then putting my own stuff and then putting more sellotapes, and everything was just a mess, So if you can, or if you are financially able to bear it, learn to get clean cartons, clean boxes to pack your items. It increases the buyer's perceived value of who the seller is. Yes, it's going to be an extra cost. In any case, you are a business. You see, when you keep seeing yourself as a private seller on eBay, you always have to do things from a no money perspective. On the long run, people are going to be buying from you, but they're going to be turned off, no pun intended, because the items are coming in and they're not looking unique. They don't look chic. Get good quality items. It's a business expense. If you didn't know, you could buy packaging materials and easily write it from your business expense. And in this way, you're going to save time from first going around to look for a carton that you can possibly use. And secondly, when you finally end up packing the items, there's every possibility that the item is going to be delivered in a very bad shape. And when the buyer has to return the item in the same carton, the item is definitely going to come to you pretty much in a very, very bad shape. So if you want to avoid this whole stress, this whole hassle, right from the get-go, get decent cartons for your items if you pack your items in cartons, or get decent poly bags if you use poly bags to pack your stuff. Avoid recycling poly bags, because in the end, like I said, it only portrays you as a seller that is just struggling, and nobody wants to buy from somebody that is struggling. Present your items in a very respectable manner, in a very cool manner, and you will see that there are possibilities that somebody buys from you, the person want to come back. I've sold so many times laptops, and possibly because the items were well delivered with the invoice all inside, customer wrote me and said, hey, do you have a keyboard? Do you have a mouse? Or do you have a webcam or stuff like this? Because yes, they kind of feel like they are dealing with a responsible person. This is one thing that you can also pay attention to in the new year. On this channel, I'm going to be giving you a lot of nuggets coming from my experience and coming from the things I have seen that works. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Leave me a like. Until I see you again, peace.